Hi, my name is Sammy Faye, and I'm going to be presenting on psychodrama group theory today. Psychodrama was developed by Jacob L. Moreno. The theory utilizes dramatic action to facilitate the exploration of problems and issues presented by an individual. This is called the psychodrama or a group psychodrama. The therapeutic process is centered around nurturing the client's creativity and examining life, oneself, and coping with life. Psychodrama is a philosophy, technique, and theory that integrates the use of imagination, intuition, physical acts, and dramatic devices to explore psychological problems. The theory surrounds the use of psychodramatic acts, which are referred to as enactments. Psychodrama theory is applied in group therapy through the use of action, which is referred to as enactments, to explore problems through role play, such as recreating situations used to gain new insights, explore individual creativity, and apply new behavioral skills. The theory utilizes methods: sociometry, role theory, and group dynamics. Psychodrama facilitates insight, personal growth, and integration on cognitive, affective, and behavioral levels. It clarifies issues, increases physical and emotional well-being, while enhancing learning and developing new skills. Classical psychodrama involves the creation of a group where members devote attention to one client's presenting issue at a time. The group works closely as a whole and shares the experience. The theory incorporates the use of psychodrama techniques to help the group problem solve and communicate and gain new awarenesses. Key terms involved in psychodrama consist of the director, who is the group leader who facilitates and leads members through the different stages of the session. The stage, the physical space where the psychodrama enactment plays out. The protagonist, the main player, the main client. The client who is the focus of the psychodramatic enactment and is working on solving a particular problem. Auxiliary ego are the supporting players, members of the group who portray the roles of important people in the life of the protagonist. The audience, group members who observe the psychodrama enactment. As members observe the self-disclosure of others, they function as an external mirror, which allows the protagonist to feel heard and understood by others by being able to view the problem from the protagonist's perspective. There are 3 phases involved in psychodrama, which I will actually go into further in the next couple slides. The first is the warm-up, the second, the action, and third, the sharing or closure of the group. Other key concepts that are important to understand this theory and how it works. The first is creativity, exploring oneself, life, and how to cope with life through active movement to express emotions and experiment with trying out new behaviors. Spontaneity encourages members to try out new responses that would be fitting to a new situation or past experience. Note, this does not mean clients are told to act out impulsively or lash out. For example, instead, Joe, for instance, responding to a new situation where anxiety would typically be a problem, he is encouraged to use spontaneity that would allow him to gain a sense of feeling capable of addressing a challenging situation without his anxiety taking over. Working in the present moment. This involves recreating difficult situations as if they were occurring in the present moment. Members work to encounter each other in the here and now. The actual encounter is brought into focus. Encounter happens when members connect with another in a meaningful and authentic way. It involves the direct communication and self-disclosure. The ideal encounter would consist of members expressing their open mind and hearts to understand the viewpoint of one another through different psychodrama exercises, where they can imagine what it would be like to be in the shoes of the other member. Tell is similar to report, where members typically hold empathy and understanding for one another's feelings and ideas and communicate effectively. The level of tell can be determined by the degree of members who are attracted or put off by certain members. surplus reality. This is the focus / enactments of the deeper attitudes, motives, unspoken fantasies that reflect the psychological world of the client. Through enactment exercises, the client is able to explore these elements without fear, worry, or limits of their usual reality. Catharsis and insight. When elements of oneself become conscious, the client is able to reconnect to certain emotions, such as guilt, anger, or laughter. This is the catharsis component that is evoked by the experiential work done in therapy. Insight becomes the cognitive shift that occurs when the awareness of emotional experiences create a meaningful narrative or new understanding. Reality testing, the action of trying out behaviors that are not typically socially acceptable in the reenactment of a real-life situation. Role theory. The theory was created by Moreno to help clients discover who they are by exploring the different roles one plays in their life. He believed that by exploring different situations, the individual is able to tap into the unconscious and give shape and definition to the presenting problem. The first phase of psychodrama is the warm-up. During this part, the group theme is identified and a protagonist is selected. The leader focuses on selecting a protagonist and identifying the theme the group will explore to help the protagonist. The leader may suggest the psychodrama warm-up exercises that involve physical movement. By using exercises between pairs, grouping certain members together, this helps develop group cohesion and spontaneity. The group will stay focused on the protagonist and the theme identified. The action phase, the problem is dramatized and the protagonist explores new methods of solving it. The leader will interview the protagonist to clarify the problem. The scene is set and the auxiliary egos are identified and instructed by the protagonist using role reversal and feedback. The leader may utilize other psychodrama techniques to encourage the expansion of feelings expressed and to help the protagonist explore other areas, including feelings. Fulfillment, when the protagonist feels they have successfully shared their suppressed feelings and behaviors. Working through, the protagonist is provided with support to explore and try out alternative attitudes and behaviors in response to the situation. Other members may be selected to demonstrate these new attitudes and behaviors or try role reversal, which can be used to help the protagonist to understand how it looks to try on a new behavior or attitude if they're struggling to do this on their own. The last phase is closure. Group members are invited to express the connection they have had with the work that was done with the protagonist. Members are asked to share any feelings they have or experiences that relate to the psychodrama. The director may encourage another psychodrama exercise if it benefits the group or the protagonist. Or the director may conclude the group by highlighting main areas that were worked through and focused on within the group and how it helped not only the protagonist but other group members. Therapeutic techniques and procedures. For time concerns, I'm not actually going to go into all of these in particular. However, these basically consist of all the different types of techniques that are actually facilitated or can be used by the group leader. I'll just name them out. The self-presentation, role reversal, double, multiple doubles, solo cue, the empty chair, mirror, future projection, the magic shop, replay, and role training. The group leader's role in psychodrama. In psychodrama, the leader's role is referred to as the director. The director has many roles, which include the producer, catalyst, facilitator, observer, and analyzer. The producer/director guides the protagonist through the use of psychodramatic methods in order to help them explore their problem. Then the leader selects the appropriate psychodramatic technique that will help the client and group members explore the individual problem. The group leader directs the organization of psychodrama enactments, warm-up members, and places their attention towards what surfaces during the drama. Catalyst facilitator, the group leader in this role assists the protagonist in creating the scene/scenes and facilitates the client to freely express their feelings. The leader may provide a therapeutic interpretation of the present problem to help the protagonist achieve new understanding and self-awareness. The group leader facilitates warm-ups to help develop a safe environment for the group to work together in. The group leader aims to bring out the expression of concerns, of hesitations. Example, the worries members might be other members might be judgmental towards the protagonist. The group leader provides support by helping the members explore ideas. Worries or concerns are typically identified, helping the protagonist and members to achieve a connection so the protagonist can further explore/disclose other aspects of their inner truth. Observer/analyzer. The group leader observes the interactions among the members and identifies ideas such as worries and new understanding, bringing attention to the protagonist and the group. The group leader applies psychodrama theory and practice by helping group members to summarize key elements of their presenting problem and rework the situation from their life. By applying psychodrama theory to work, clients achieve new insights into the problem/situation and acquire new skills that help them to cope with interpersonal problems. Specific techniques are used to intensify feelings and create clarity, imply beliefs, draw out insights, and self-awareness, and help members practice new behaviors. The group leader selects techniques that will be best suited to what the protagonist and other members need to experience in order to achieve change and growth. Responsibilities and leadership style. A typical psychodrama group leader works with group members from an approach that is unconditional, that provides unconditional positive support, selects only appropriate psychodrama techniques, uses the theory to facilitate growth and change, and helps the protagonist, and does not pressure the protagonist to break down certain walls or force members to give up defenses. Instead, encourages spontaneity and creativity. Applying the theory to Joe, psychodrama theory would use the theory to examine Joe's problem with anxiety and how his anxiety worsens when he is in a social environment, causing him to have negative interactions with others. According to Begin, the theory aims to help the protagonist understand and resolve underlying interpersonal problems that are hindering normal psychological functioning. The theory conceptualizes Joe's issues with anxiety and social dysfunctional behaviors as a result of interpersonal problems that need to be drawn out and explored in order to gain new insight and understanding needed to help achieve new thinking, behaviors, and coping skills. In group therapy, the psychodrama theory would be applied in group to help Joe tap into his creative mind by creating an enactment of a situation in his life where anxiety impacts his life negatively, such as social interactions. The encouragement of creativity and spontaneity through the use of psychodrama techniques would be used to address and diffuse the tension and hostility that exists in the group. This would be where the group members work with Joe in the here and now, while helping him to discover new awarenesses and alternative behaviors. Psychodrama theory in group therapy, continuing to work with Joe, would go through the different phases. So this would include the warm-up. The group theme would be identified, and Joe would be the protagonist that was selected. The action. The problem would be dramatized, and Joe would explore new methods of resolving the problem that exists around his anxiety and how he is unable to socially appropriately socially engage with others and provide them with the same respect that they typically give to him in group. The sharing/closure, the group members would be invited to express their connection with Joe. Joe and chosen members would take the role of acting in Joe in the present at another time as another person, or as an object or as an abstract concept. They would be directed to examine ideas or the situations verbally and non-verbally while remaining in the here and now. Other members not part of the enactment would observe what is happening. Action therapy trains behavior through the reality of cues and values shared through catharsis of group enactment or discovery of a spontaneous self. Joe is struggling with having inappropriate behaviors, such as being destructive, passive, and aggressive, and demonstrating care or empathy towards other members. In psychodrama therapy, the group creates a safe place for the main client and members to express anger, resentment, old memories, and try out new ways of living. Learning and expressing alternative behaviors, trade out old ways of functioning and helps achieve new insights, growth, and change. A psychodrama theory would be directed towards the conflict that Joe is struggling with that has originally occurred in the group. Once the conflict is clarified and understood amongst members, then they could focus on handling the issue in a productive way by trying out the best suited psychodramatic techniques that are applicable to the problem. The leader would choose this, of course. If they cannot find a resolution, the protagonist, more or less, if he was not able to find a resolution, the leader would actually encourage the client, Joe, to repeat certain behaviors that would hopefully dissipate the anxiety and conflict to help lead to resolving the problem and increasing effective communication. When Joe has discovered the problem, it will become apparent in the group and acted out in the psychodrama. The psychodrama will demonstrate Joe's progress through the practice of the therapeutic techniques used when interacting in the group. The technique from the psychodrama theory that would be most helpful when working with Joe is role reversal. The technique is used to help the protagonist to examine their self through another individual's eyes. In role reversal, the protagonist takes on the part of another personality portrayed in his or her drama. The director may request the protagonist use the role reversal technique to demonstrate how they remember the personality or gain new understanding from a viewpoint or situation of another person. One enactment might involve group members recreating the last session where Joe's behaviors were hurtful to other members of the group. Joe and members may reverse their roles, which would help Joe to gain new awareness towards how his aggressive words and actions that make other members feel uncared or disrespected. Other members playing the role of Joe would gain new insight into what it is like to be in Joe's shoes, struggling with anxiety and anger. The role reversal exercise is helpful to get the protagonist out of their own frame of reference and practice a side of themselves they do not often share with others. This might involve Joe demonstrating the behavior of what providing support or empathy looks like to him. By reversing roles with others in psychodrama, the protagonist is able to achieve emotional and cognitive insights into the situation. The role reversal technique is helpful in developing empathy. When doing further research on exercises that worked well with clients who are overcoming grief and personal loss, the empty chair exercise proved to be very effective. The exercise is used to help in the process that focuses on bereavement, grief, and loss. The exercise is facilitated by the group counselor by asking group members to use an empty chair to represent the individual job or part of the self. Another member may actually play this role. The leader then invites members to openly share what was left unsaid. This exercise provides members with the ability to find closure to the relationship or end of something, while giving them the choice to say their goodbyes. An empty chair exercise creates the opportunity for clients to revise a previous conversation with the individual they have lost. The exercise allows clients to change the conversation or creates a new opportunity for an interaction that never took place. Goals of this exercise include helping clients to say goodbye to someone who has left their life and to find closure. 2, to create a safe place for members to work through blocked emotions surrounding their losses. Multiculturalism and diversity, strengths and weaknesses of this theory. First, I'll discuss the strengths. Psychodrama theory is a rich group therapy modality that addresses multiculturalism and diversity implications. The theory has demonstrated to be useful when working with racially, ethnically, and culturally diverse populations and continues to be used worldwide by clinicians. One strength of the theory is that psychodrama therapy promotes creativity, which can be used universally across cultural groups to promote health and well-being. This allows trained psychodrama therapists to select appropriate creative techniques to respond and meet the needs of the specific individual in the group. Psychodrama can be used in various ways, including sociometry, which measures the interpersonal choices that occur in social relationships, the natural attraction, rejection within groups, e.g., family, social, and community. The use of sociometry is used to create awareness, empathy, reciprocity within the social interaction among members and increase group cohesion and productivity. Another strength of psychodrama theory is that it is used to explore cultural issues such as racism and sexism, and has been proven to be effective in examining childhood development across races. Additionally, the theory considers language differences and promotes the value of having clients utilize their native language when carrying out a psychodrama exercise. For instance, when members speak in their native language, it is proven to help clients connect to their emotions around the problem, causing them to let go of any defenses used to avoid these held emotions. Members may not understand the native language used, but can interpret underlying emotional messages through nonverbal cues and tone of voice. Weaknesses of the theory involved a lack of research on few controlled studies using the theory. There is the need of future studies to be conducted on how the theory is appropriate and successful when working with diverse cultural backgrounds. This theory also needs additional studies on how the theory can be used in other areas of mental health treatment. What population or treatment issues is this theory recommended for? Psychodrama theory is recommended when working in a variety of therapeutic settings. This includes outpatient, inpatient clinics, residential treatment centers, and private practice. The theory has proven to be effective in group and individual therapy when working with all ages, including children, adolescents, teens, and adults. The theory has proven demonstrated to be effective in the treatment of psychiatric disorders, addiction, grief and loss, trauma, behavior, anxiety, and depression. Recommendations against using the theory. The group leader using the psychodrama theory needs to use caution when working with clients who demonstrate acting out behaviors and suffer from severe mental disorders. Additionally, it is important for counselors to have expertise in psychopathology when working with clients suffering from disturbances. In order to make sure the theory is appropriate, the counselor needs to take extra care and concern for the individual members, and the counselor works to not push the clients past a point that is no longer considered therapeutic. Well, I hope you enjoyed my presentation today. Feel free to leave any comments with any further questions you might actually have about the theory.